Hey guys, this is my first video on this channel called Voco, and just wanted to start out by saying this is gonna be like a story time channel. I'm gonna be saying, like stories about my life experiences, and I'm just hoping that I'll hopefully get a lot of credit for them, get a lot of views. Just it seems like a absolutely dream job to like just make YouTube videos and get money for it. Like literally playing video games and getting money for them, or talking and getting money for them. I mean, that's basically it. Anyways, so yeah, here's my first video, and this video, or here we go. It's gonna be the first time I smoked weed. It's probably one of the most funniest and most entertaining thing that has ever happened to me in my life. So, before I smoked weed, alright, I have my friend, we'll give him the name, let's say Eric. Now, Eric has smoked weed many times before I have. I think I was 14. Yeah, we were both 14. I was just about to turn 15. Maybe next month or the month after. And so I already knew about that he liked to smoke weed, and I always thought that it was so bad for you. Like, I was against a lot of drugs and stuff when I was that age. Now, I mean, yeah, that was basically because my parents telling me, and dare in school, the police officer comes in, he's like, hey, drugs are bad, okay? That guy. Uh, yeah, so I always thought that it was just gonna be bad experience, like a terrible experience, and it wouldn't be fun ever, and I never wanted to ruin my life with drugs or anything like that. But as I talked to him more when he was, high, I began to think, this sounds fun as fuck. This sounds so fun. Because all he does is laugh and he finds everything funny. I mean, not that stuff is funnier, it's just that you're dumber, you know? So, for those of you that have never smoked weed before, uh, it's basically like I mean, there's definitely different types of, weed all over the place. Uh, but like most of them, you feel like your head is very light, like your body is just super light, like you're floating or something. Especially when you combine nicotine with it. And that's what I've heard. I don't smoke cigarettes or vape. I don't do that because I think vaping's kind of lame. But I don't judge. So the thing is, uh, yeah, with that, I when when I was thinking about doing it, um, I was just thinking about how it would like affect me, and like how it would change how I think about things with other drugs and stuff. And it really didn't change anything about other drugs. Everyone, like, people tell you how weed is like a gateway drug, to like a bunch of other different stuff, like heavy drugs like cocaine and heroin and a bunch of other that stuff. Which, yes, it can be true, but it's not really, the only reason that you do that is because you smoke it like way too much. You have a super high immune. You have a super high immunity to it because you keep doing it over and over and over again, which is gonna happen to you eventually if you keep doing it, and if you do it like a lot of it, and if you do it, you know, constantly. So, I but I wasn't thinking that it would like hurt me at all. I didn't. I mean, I always thought because Eric kept telling me over and over and over again that it's not harmful. It's gonna be so fun if we do it together. You're gonna have one of the best times of your life. Now, I was very, 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 very considering doing it. So I how we did it was I invited him over on I think it was I think it might have been a Monday. Because I remember that we didn't have school for the rest of the week. So I invited him over, and he didn't. And I asked him to bring some, but he said it's too risky. It's too risky. And I didn't understand why, but now I understand because it smells like his the weed that he had was very, very strong, and there's no way that he could sneak it out without his dad or my mom smelling it. So I invite him over. He comes over. I'm like, hey, where is it? Is it here? And then he's like, no, I left it at my house. I mean, maybe you can come over tomorrow and we'll do it. I'm like, all right, it's all right, sounds good. And he's like, okay. And then so basically all that night we just played a bunch of fucking Call of Duty. And I mean, I had my 360 at my mom's actually, so we played like Black Ops 2, Black Ops 1, a bunch of other. We played Skate 3. I mean, I have Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2 in the background. Uh, just thought it would be a good start off. Obviously, I'll put some other gameplays in the background. Maybe like some Apex Legends games. Jeez. And probably some Rainbow Six Siege games too. Anyways, moving on, and we just hung out all night. We pulled an all-nighter. Uh, we just had a bunch of snacks, a bunch of fucking soda, and that was it. We had it was fun, but it also it does get a lot of it really does get boring when because my mom didn't have internet at the time, and because we had just moved into that place not that long ago, and we didn't have internet, so we couldn't. I didn't have my PlayStation either, so we couldn't really go online or go on Omegle and talk to and hang out with people on there because for some reason my phone wouldn't let me go on the website. I really don't know why, but anyways, um, yeah, we just hung out all night long and just had fun. Then after the night, he is about to go home. A little bit after dinner the next day, and I'm like, "Hey, can I come over?" And he's like, "Yeah, sure." So uh, his dad gets there, and then he's like, "Hey, come on, let's go outside." So I grab my backpack. We're going outside. He's like, and Eric's dad is like, "Oh, hey, you're coming too?" I'm like, "Oh, Eric said it was to be okay. Is that fine?" He's like, "Yeah, it's all right." Yep. I'm like, alright, cool, thanks. Yep, so we drive over. We get in the house. Put my backpack down. And we start playing Battlefield on his PlayStation for maybe like 2 hours. About 2 hours. And then his dad comes in. He's like, hey, I'm going to go to bed, so try and keep it down a little bit. We're like, alright, night. He goes to bed. And then I think we keep playing. We get on Fortnite. I think it was actually good at the time. So, yeah, we get on Fortnite. We start playing Fortnite, a couple of games. And then it's probably around maybe 12:30, I'd say. Maybe 1 o'clock. And then I'm like, hey, can we do it now? He's like, yeah, sure. Yeah, sure. So he walks over to his closet, opens the closet, pulls out a bag, like a small bag that you put like deodorant and toothbrushes in, like a travel, like a small one like that. Like, what the fuck is he have like a bunch of weed in there? And he pulls out a little jar. He opens the jar. He takes out a small little bag, very small. It's called a dime bag. Anyways, so he pulls it out. He gives it to me. I smell it, and then it hits me. I know this smell. I know the smell from, like, I've smelt this like a couple times before at my dad's house and my mom's. So now I know that they've smoked weed. But, of course, I don't really care at all. They're adults. They can do that. And then, so we're like, okay, let's do it in about an hour. So we know that your dad's in bed, okay? He's like, yeah, alright, sounds good. Let me get the stuff though. So I'm like, what the hell is he talking about? I'm like, alright, do you have a bong? And he's like, I have something like that. I'm like, alright. So he goes outside. I'm like, what the fuck? Why does he have stuff outside? And then he's like, I'm gonna hand you something through the window. So I'm like, alright. So through the window, he hands me a big bottle of Coke, like a 2-liter bottle that has been cut in the middle. So I'm like, okay. So grab it, and he hands me another, like a cap for the bottle, and I look in it, and the cap has like a bearing in it, or a washer, right? No, yeah, washer. Sorry, fuck, I'm very tired. I didn't really sleep that well last night. Right, a washer. He has a washer in the cap. So I'm like, what is this? Oh, and then I realize you put the weed in the washer. You have to pack the weed in the washer. And then you light it. And then you inhale the smoke through the bottle. And then he comes inside. He's like, alright, let's just do it now. I'm like, alright, sure. Then he goes over and picks up his pitcher. And I'm like, oh, what's that? What's in there? He's like, oh, tea. And then he puts the Coke bottle in there. And he puts the Coke bottle in there. And then he grabs the cap, puts it on the Coke bottle, grabs his weed, and he packs it in there.